And we are now back, ladies and gentlemen, with the Intel Gamer Days Community Cup for Valorant. It's going to be your boy Aggressive, with, of course, Salty on my side to bring you all the action once again. Sadly, we don't have 3 games of VO1s. We only have 2, but 2 games that are of very big names. Yesterday, we got another one of our favorites being Dieversity eSports, and now they're going to be going up against another squad for this first initial matchup. Salty, I'm really excited for this one. What about you?
Hey man, honestly speaking, it is going to be a blast for sure. I'm not sure how the games are going to turn out, but we'll find that out very, very soon. But for now, the prize pool, big stuff coming in from Intel throughout this tournament. I think supporting the young athletes who are just about to start their career, probably in their semi-pro phase of their life, to give them a prize pool of 3 lakh rupees, I think is a brilliant thing. Again, the winner takes away home 2 lakh rupees, the runners up take away 1 lakh. It is going to be certainly interesting, but then we move on to the format, ladies and gentlemen, where we get to see the qualifiers, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, Aggressive is still going on.
Yep. Today is going to be the second last day of the qualifiers, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow we're going to have another set of VO1s before we go over to the playoffs phase. But we have to see where this is going to go for them, because in a lot of ways, ladies and gentlemen, the entire format is built to get these up-and-coming rosters to really come on back in towards this. And in my eyes, I would say that, hey, these qualifier stages just allow you to bring a different flavor on towards the game. It allows a lot of these much more new teams to get a little bit more experience to see how the grades are really playing. And then if you're able to reach that playoff phase, you've already gotten through your first hurdle. You've already gotten that level of experience that you need to become even stronger moving on down the line in your following endeavors. And yeah, here at the Esports Club, the tournaments just never stop, right? So make sure to check out all the links down below in the description. Follow our socials as well. And hey, at the same time, if you're going to be down there, make sure to check out Flipkart as well, because of the Intel Gamer Days. And the Gamer Days, you can cap yourself an Intel Core Power gaming laptop starting at just 52,990 INR on Flipkart until the 7th of September. And of course, you get no cost EMIs on select models with select bank cards as well. If you want to know, make
controller. On the other side, you've got Noob, who is also going to be the single controller. We have a double initiated versus a double duelist composition with Dark Kings running on a Neo. Now, this is going to be interesting. I don't know, what are your thoughts? It kind of feels like the players, they certainly have cooked. Now, did they cook well? Is the recipe going to be tasty? Is the food going to be nice? Or is it going to be burnt and crispy? We'll find out.
I mean, it's going to be super crispy, because as soon as I saw the members of Dark King Training Islands, I think this is going to be one of the closest games that we had throughout this entire tournament.
Oh,
and I have a bad feeling that and Dieversity has a pretty good chance of losing this. They have a very good chance of losing this, because I don't know if you saw what's on the opponent team. They had Zephy, one of the up-and-coming talents that we saw from GE Academy from back in the day. Zephy's going to be on that. And Destiny's going to be on that team as well. They have a lot of young bloods who are incredible at the game. And everyone else, I'm pretty sure I didn't get to see all of the players' names, but they had a lot of up-and-coming players from back in 2024 and 2023 and 2024, because that's when I last saw these names. And I'm pretty sure that now on this stage, now that this bigger stage has already come through, they have improved drastically. And I'm a real big fan to see how well that they have improved over time.
I love it. See, one of the reasons, ladies and gentlemen, I completely blind trust Aggie is on the basis of stats. This man pulls down anything and everything under the atmosphere. Now, I don't know how he does it. He has information about every single player, and now when he says that these are the players from G Academy, it actually makes sense. Why does Dark King Training Island look like a formidable opponent against Dieversity eSports? Now, Dieversity, will they be able to hold on? They are on the defensive side of things. We've seen Panda, we've seen Som, we've seen the rest of the players as well. One Tap God being so successful on that A corridor. This time, Dark King Training Island, they have their task cut out aggressive. I don't know why, but I'm getting a good feeling from this game.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Initially, I didn't really get what the Dark King Trading Island was supposed to be, but apparently it's a One Piece reference. Sadly, I've not watched One Piece. I cannot bring myself to do so, but that's a long name. Very fitting for what One Piece actually is as a series.
I haven't watched One Piece.
Hey! It has over like 1,300 episodes or something. It's good that you
Exactly.
haven't watched it.
Exactly, that is the reason why I haven't watched One Piece. It's just like too long. I've done one of the big three though. I've done Naruto. I've completely like finished off Naruto's young version and Shippuden as well. I'm pretty sure majority of our audience will do so as well. But what a round over here, ladies and gentlemen. Dieversity eSports. Four of their players got completely chewed up in that seaside encounter. One of the players was just surviving. One tap bot. I don't know why the production was showing us the Cypher POV. I think we would have loved a one-tap or POV over there. He has pulled off stuff like that in the past, like, 1v4s with just a pistol, with him being the last survivor. But I think we've kind of moved on to a technical hitch. See? No, we are still in game, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's good. We didn't really get to see One Tap God, but we did see a little bit of an urgency coming through from the members of Dark King's Training Island. So this is going to be one of those games that I'm really hoping that Dieversity are going to be able to bring their A game on, because this is not going to be as simple as you would have expected, especially with Zephy hitting shots like this. Remember what I told you? Zephy, that up-and-coming talent that will always be the game changer for any particular team. On this jet, the man's aim is just always going to reign supreme, but up against One Tap God, it's never going to be that simple. Clearance of these angles are absolutely gorgeous, and this is why Zephy is known to be one of the best jet players that the country has ever seen in a pretty long time.
Yo, what? I mean, I didn't know about Zephy that way, but he did get kicked by Som in that Sheriff encounter. Because there was his teammate PRX who traded him, but this time around I think it's just F-Noob. Will appear in front of the crosshairs and the Udin goes in big. That was weird. I did not expect him to survive so much with the Udin versus a classic. He got from that kill from a classic, bro.
That's a pretty good try though at the end of the day, so that's give credit where credit is due, but now it comes down to the buy rounds here. I like the fact that Som wanted to go in for the Outlaw in this phase of the game, because he knows for a fact that the members of Dark King's Training Island won't really have the fullest of buys, and a couple of them will just have half shields going into it. So that Outlaw at that point is just a glorified operator that can do so much more, but it seems though Zephy, he wants to be aggressive with this one, peeking out towards the side of A main, does have the op in hand to try and go in for that initial hit here. Up against that Neon, can't really miss out on the shot or the opportunity. He needs to be careful of what he does next for this one. And for now, a calm before the storm coming in from the side of the attackers, as they have slowed themselves down over to a crawl, while Dieversity, they're scrambling to take a little bit more presence on this A short side line, and about a gig kill coming in from Zephy. He can't just panda out with his pants down for that one. And that's going to be a first big kill going in the favor of Dieversity.
I think F-Noob's position is going to hold the team Dark Kings for a while.
Oh, nice flick.
F-Noob did manage to survive that, but just by a sliver of HP. That operator, had it been inches ahead of him, on towards his torso, would have absolutely devoured him, but just one shot to the foot, that was it. One kill has been secured from that garage territory though. F-Noob will not be able to hold on for long. Latest 10 cleans up that angle. Seaside completely open. Two players from Dieversity. The last two players who can potentially give them some benefit from this full buy round are all coming in from that CD side. Zephy had such a visual. Missed it all. Vexu and one tap on. Got a couple, but that is all she wrote for him. Third round for Dark King Training Island, and this is now turning into a one-sided affair. Dieversity eSports, who were so good in form last time we saw them, are being challenged aggressive.
They're being tested in their overarching game plan as well. Panda just peeking out towards the mid side like that was just an even more bigger of a question mark. I don't believe that they heard the op in the hands of Zephy. Zephy was very smart about that one, not utilizing his operator, even shooting a bullet here in that initial engagement over towards the aiming fight when the Neon tried to run in. But Zephy now dropped his op and immediately picked up a Phantom and takes out Som. The guy takes a faster entry. The seaside is already there. An instant turnaround for the overarching aggression, and this was such a big surprise.
Oh wow, but FNoob actually finds the backstab. Now those corridors are open already. Panda needs to hold back for a second. His team building that formation to try and get this retake done. Majority of them on towards the CP side. One of their players on towards Garage Vexy! Beautiful kill! The smoke is gonna hold him on for long. But it seems like the breach has gone in. Panda gets that one kill for himself, but Zephy and Cleaston quickly come back. It's a 1v2. Panda on the shell, finds both! Finds one! Finds three for himself in the round. Dieversity eSports have come back, which was so important, and they pulled it off with a thrifty. That is a statement and a half.
Yeah, Dieversity just purely won this round upon the over-aggression being done by Dark Kings here. They really didn't need to stay in that angle. I don't know why the Euro chose to continue that fight regardless of the amount of pressure that he was being put upon. If he just TP'd away in that exact same instance instead of trying to opt to go in for that flash, his teammates would have survived. They wouldn't have been forced to go in for a peak like that. It's all about that over-aggression that the members of Dieversity have been able to bring down a couple of notches from the side of Dark Kings here. But they can't always rely on stuff like that. They need to find a little bit more of a better opener here. Outburst utilized to try and get a little bit of a runaway angle here, but in the process, the Cypher takes a lot of damage. That's going to cause some problems for the members of Dark Kings, because now that Cypher is not going to be as aggressive as he would have been if he was higher in the HP department.
Wow. But look at Zephy. The stinger goes in wild. I love that. A little bit of run gun. But Team Dieversity quickly hit back 4v2 right now for them. Majority of the angles are covered, and this is why I feel base is gonna be at such a big threat. Has Indict if his HP left with him, but his teammate quite vulnerable. The one-tap god has been held back by that tripwire, so he can't progress much. Garage seems to be the territory where they are venturing into, but FNoob marks it. Cyphercam will give him some sound cues. FNoob in position, ready already, connects the shot, but no way, base finds that kill. Dark Kings right now finding themselves in a position where they can fight back.
They
needs to win this fight. 11 HP on this man, both of them fall as Space just finds one. Dieversity, they still manage to win this round 2 for themselves. It seems like the comeback might just be on the cards aggressive.
Dieversity finally figured out what the strategy is going to be looking like, and they're stopping the members of Dark King in their tracks, but can't count your chickens before they had just yet, because that last round was a little bit of a very, how would I put it? Very detrimental vibe from a couple of their players with only a few weapons coming in. Zephy in particular didn't really have a strong weapon to try and go in for that engagement, but in this particular round as well, the members of Dark Kings opting for much more of a semi-buy with a couple of their players going in for weapons. It's going to be a bit tough at the end of the day for them to find this round if they really want to go in for something like this. Big kills coming in from either side of the map here. Already they found the openers that they needed. The members of Dark King's Training Island are now in a little bit of a dicey spot, but it's all dependent on whether or not Zephy, he smells out these players from inside of the smoke. They're completely isolated on multiple different fronts. They get the kills and down over to a 2v1 now. It's all up to Som to try and go in for this clutch. Doesn't have the ultimate and only has an op in hand for a retake. This has gone from bad to worse here, Salty, because I don't see a universe where he gets this clutch unless there's a big mistake coming in from Dark Kings.
Bro, I'm so frustrated right now. I'm so frustrated. I hate the Observer, bro. I absolutely hate the Observer. Man, that was the worst observing I had seen in my life. That round was so good. Hey, production, I mean, just... Damn, bro.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
man. No, man, I'm just straight up, right? I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just talking about facts, right? You've got to get your work right. If you're not doing that properly, we need someone who knows Valorant. That round was so beautiful, the back and forth engagement. But never mind. We move on, ladies and gentlemen, with Zephy having the operator, the cyber cage, denying vision for this lad. Shock darts coming through as well. Zephy
Oh
strikes.
my god,
One tap
Zefi.
god falls, and that was a statement. One tap god. This man has been in that pro circuit for a while, playing in big teams, but now it seems like there is a young gun who is challenging him. Clandestine from elsewhere finds another one for Panda. Dieversity eSports with 3 players left. This is going to be a task to defend this A side as the Jet dashes in. The shock dart! Not the shock dart, but it was the Vandal from PRX that changed things up. Zephy with the operator. Diversity eSports now just left with Som, with 5 players from Dark King still alive. This has been a turmoil. The way they find their early picks, especially the way Zephy has been finding those first frags, it's brilliant and it's genius.
Absolutely. You did say a lot of things about Venka, right? If I remember properly, Zephy's younger than Venka. I think Zephy's just turned
Oh, is
17.
it?
The last I saw him play was when he was just 15 getting into GE Academy. That was a long time ago. I could get the ages wrong, but someone told me that he was just a 15-year-old young gun who just had insanely cracked out aim.
I mean,
And he has really
looking at
developed
this,
into a very strong player, though. That's for certain.
I know that, right? I see his maturity in his game. I see the maturity in his decision making, because if you are a 15-year-old or probably a 17-year-old right now, right, with a cracked aim like that, you would develop an ego, and that would not let you, play in from a position where you're helping your team. You're just feeding your ego at that age, to be honest. But the maturity with which Zephy is getting into positions and getting those kills, I love this man already. Right? Again, dueling someone like a one-tap god is not easy. That man is a cracked duelist in his league already. So
Absolutely.
good stuff from Zephy, good stuff from Dark King, man.
Absolutely. Dark Kings, they've really showcased that, hey, if you put in the hours, if you put in the time, and of course, make sure your grind is proper, there's absolutely nothing in this universe that you cannot do. And for you guys back at home, if you want your grind to be a little bit better, make sure to check out the links down below in the description. Check out Flipkart. And because of the Intel Gamer Days, you can grab yourself an Intel Core powered gaming laptop starting at just 52,990 INR, ladies and gentlemen, on Flipkart until the 7th of September. And of course, with select bank cards, you can get a no-cost EMI. Make sure to check out all the links down below in the description for all of it, because these offers are going to be going away, so you don't want to miss out on any of that action.
With having said, Zephy,
Uh,
what do you expect, Bexy? What do you expect? Of course, there's gonna be a cyber cage. You can't just go through it. Dark King Training Island. Set up the trap. Diversity falling onto it. Now Panda is trapped. Zephy leads on to his second kill. This man is not just cracked, but he is on steroids right now. One tap got over himself onto his side. Soft as well. And another for pace. Easy pickings for Dark King Training Island. It was an eco round. Team Diversity, they wanted to finish things up quickly, and thus the ultimate coming in from the Neon in the early stages. But with Dark King Training Island, and especially Zephy, the calm of the nerves, brilliant to not give in to that pressure, but switch instantly to that shorty, use that close range advantage to yourself, and slap that man back to the lobby. That was brilliant.
it's exactly what you want to see here, ladies and gentlemen. Beauty of the game at its finest degree. When the players have put in the hours to make it all happen, Zephy pretty much turning himself into the server admin at this point. It's one up on the attack side, mind you. Is finding this much value. Imagine what's going to happen when the defense rolls around. where Zephy's going to be the one to take the engagements on his own accord. Things are not going to be as simple, though, for the opposite side of Dieversity, if they've gone in for their older setup with FNU being on the top of the crate here in Garage. It's all about the timing now, as Dark Kings, they're kind of expecting a little bit more of a slower play here. What I do like here for the setup that they're going in for is Dark Kings. They want Zephy to work the map a little bit, figure out the positions of all of these players, and then opt to go in for that fight on the top side. It is going to be like that time. He couldn't really do much. Bladestorm comes in, and it's going to be PRX who jumps out of the dimensional drift to come in and give the backup. I love the overall timing for this one. They're going to be able to work wonders with it. One Top God jumps in towards the side here with the Rolling Thunder in hand to go in for that double kill, as Dieversity now take us over to a 2 versus 2 situation, but not a 2v2 that is in their favor, because there was a TP in the hands of the Euro that instantly allowed him to go back to the side and go in for a rotation in towards that A side. The planning was immaculate. No matter what happened, they would still be able to win this run purely in the basis that, hey, the Euro can go in for that instant rotation and back up the side.
Let's find that out though. PRX taking that early engagement. I think that just diminishes the hopes, because Panda was the one with the full HP. Tab God does not have a shield for himself. 42 HP points, and now he's been spotted as well. PRX waiting for him with open arms. Recon that comes through as well. He's getting revealed, but Lyrene. Easy pickings for one Tab God. The C side was in his favor, but not the A side. Dieversity eSports. This time they were so close to victory. One Tab God almost had given them a victory, with Dark King trading Island, just like you mentioned, the teleport from the Euro just being the differentiate. Love it. What can you do right now? Dieversity eSports need to find a way to come back, crawl back into this game, because momentum will be heavily against them right now.
I'm just shocked at the way that the planning went for this round as well. They had the Cypher going for a full-on lurk on the opposite side, and then find an opener like that. It's stuff like this that you just cannot make up when you think about it. Games like this does not happen that often, ladies and gentlemen. And a team that, I don't know, I think they just got together because they wanted to play in this tournament. But instead, we're seeing very high-level strategy, strong rotations being utilized that we haven't really even seen from a couple of the other big teams here in this tournament. They're just continuing to go in for kills here. These openers just keep working in their favor for these shots, as Zephy just completely isolating out each and every one of these fights, not even giving an inch of space away. 2-8 on the scorecards as the members of Dark Kings. I thought this game was going to be a lot more closer than it actually is, as Dieversity have yet to find a single opening given to them by the members of Dark Kings here. Dark Kings are just able to out-aim them in so many of these engagements, and I'm completely shocked by it. I haven't yet seen the Breach find a lot of value in towards this map, because the speed at which these executes are happening, I don't think that Panda's been even given an opportunity to really turn things around.
True that. Dark Kings, Recon that comes through. Majority of their plans has been revealed. Dieversity eSports. They're already flooding the side, and in one Tab God in prime form, the shorty. Not in the right angle. One Tab God gets another one. 3 kills in quick succession, and that gives Dieversity an amazing lead. Dark Kings training Island. One player left, and that is going to be right inside. Is he going to find a kill? Not really. They flood him from all angles and absolutely overwhelmed with numbers. Dieversity is just not sitting down. They want to get this to 8-4. Will that happen?
This was a round that they rushed into a stack. That's just sad.
Five seconds left. This being possibly the most crucial round of this entire game. Recon that comes through. Kingstein tries to take that first engagement. NRG Storm falling back, but Zephy still strikes. Zephy, operator in hand already. is looking to spot one more player from that garage territory.
Okay.
But everyone oversteps from that B side, and that results in the demise. Dark Kings, an unusual advantage in this very crucial round right now. Zephy with the operator is going to charge through. The side is almost there. We just need to find a better Som. At this point, Som strikes first. He strikes another one.
Som.
The third one coming through. And Zephy
What is that flick?
Plains time.
What?
Wow.
Zephy? He was staring at the opposite side. He was not looking at Som. He just flicked from the left to the right instantly.
My goodness.
What?
Good catch, replay. Good catch. I like it. I like it. See, again, people. They're getting better. Everyone gets better. And so are these players as well. Dieversity eSports, 3 rounds to 9. Intel Gamer Days needed games like these. Intel Gamer Days needed competition like this. Now this is what is exciting, right? PRX, flash in hand, wanted to get some early advantage, but this time, Zephy dances, Vexy dances inside the side, and now he's found himself some space to work with. Gets the better of PRX, gets straight up. Of course, it is going to be Zephy, isn't it? Aggressive.
This is just gonna be another one of those possible rounds for their side. Still, slow things down here. A calm before the storm as Lyrene needs to be the top one in towards the middle of the side. His position has been revealed. They know where he is. Shock darts awaiting Supreme here. They do get a slight bit of damage over onto one. Som's going to be able to find even more here from the sidelines. They can't really jump in because of the recon bolt now coming through. Down at a very significant disadvantage. The members of Dieversity knee deep in enemy territory. As now it's all up to the side for Lyrene. Good for 1 kill, but that's all that she wrote for him. Down over in this 1 versus 3 situation, unless the members of Dieversity make a very big blunder, this round is all but theirs.
Panda. Sure is there, like, wants to make an entry, but Dieversity eSports, they will hit the shot that will give them that little bit of cushion. Pistol round for themselves was extremely important. Come the buy round, if they do manage to maintain that advantage, I think they will potentially see themselves. Now they can come back, but Dark Team Training Island, all of a sudden it seems like that momentum is lost. Or do you agree, Aggressive, that momentum might just be onto just PRX and Zephy, while the rest of the 3 players, they're not being able to step up?
I think it's more like Zephy and PRX are just running things down on their own so much that it's kind of hard to do anything when these players are really shining their brightest. Give them a chance and opportunity. Again, like, you can't really call it the end of the world until it does happen, right? Just have to be given the opportunity to really shine to your brightest caliber, as PRX now, just as the shorty, his bigger brother, sorry, is on the opposite side there. Takes a slight bit of damage here. Panda, he had that 6th sense going for him. Possible couple of spam shots coming in once more. This has gone from bad to worse, and poor old Vexy! He wasn't ready for that one. Fell asleep on the trigger, and somehow PRX gets away with murder. The fact that he even got 1 kill there is already criminal.
All 10 players inside of this lobby are criminals. Aggressive.
My camera is destroyed.
They're insane, man. Lyrene, though, can hear those footsteps and those players trying to walk in. The smoke will be brilliant. It needs to hide from that recon. But no, is gonna fall. Panda comes in to protect his comrades. Will find a bulldog. Might be important, but not anymore. As one tap god is just so good. And so is Som. Dieversity eSports in a 1v1. And one tap god in positions where he absolutely thrives. Goes in for the plant, tries to buy in time. But the opponent, Zephy, He found that right click on the head. Will blame his luck because one tap got strikes at the same time. Yet, the victors come out. Dieversity eSports. But what to do with it was Zephy and one tap in a 1v1 going in for the plant. Meanwhile, Zephy closing in the distance. None of these players were at a good HP, but one tap God strikes the head right in the nick of time. Wow, aggressive. I'm loving it.
Absolutely. This is what you want to see in the game of Valorant here. This is what you want to see the teams really do to go up to their fullest degree. Vexy still alive and kicking in towards the corner. Zephy's going to be ready for that fight. Went in a little bit too deep here. He couldn't run back either, even if he wanted to, because of the Killjoy Molotov in towards the back. Panda's position now revealed. Panda's team does get the kill. They're all up now for a little bit more of a stronger retake. Get into position. Lyrene's already in the spot. Hunter's Fury still in hand. They're going to utilize it to try and break through this sideline. And it's all dependent on that. The weapon's not really looking to be the best for the members of Dieversity, but with just one good positioning play and not allowing the Hunter's Fury to find value here, the members of Dark Kings, they have a chance to get this round, but this one Hunter's Fury is going to cause all of the issues.
But F2, will he allow that? Absolutely not. 3 quick kills for this lad. 6-9 the scoreline. Dieversity eSports. Love it. So easy for him, isn't it?
That's exactly what you want to see, F-Noob. One of those beasts on the servers that we haven't really been able to witness on that first initial half here. But in the second half, it seems to be a fire that has been lit under the members of Dieversity. They're able to tune themselves up, play together as a team, while the members of Dark Kings on this defensive side are struggling quite a little bit here, but Hakuna Matata, as I always say, because it's not over just yet until the Fat Lady sings, but a little bit of a haphazard placement of the blasting shot here from Panda, but for now, PRX, he's just going to be able to chill and wait behind concrete. Nothing to really worry about just yet. Zephy's looking for the opportunity being given to him. Does get the Vandal, and he's going to be able to run away. This is perfect. That's such a big opener for the side of Dark Kings, because now they have a weapon to play for.
Look at that though. 4v5 Dieversity eSports. They haven't really acquired any sort of space, and look at that engagement following up on the A side. Som going in for the spray. No! PRX! He moves back but still finds himself right in front of Panda. 4v4 right now, Dark King. They are just a little late to the side and now finds it occupied in a retake position. The spike goes down aggressive.
That rotation was just a little bit too early. They were not really expecting another player to lurk in from short that early on in the round. Zephy! That was so ambitious. I have no idea why he did that, but I guess it just worked out. The fact that he even got one kill was a little bit too much to ask for. Pace looking for more here with that Sheriff's not going to be able to find that kill. That scene as well. Doesn't really get the opportunity to shoot his gun even properly for that one. 79 on the scorecards. They're getting pretty close to winning out on a lot of these rounds, but Dieversity, they're just finding a lot of the gaps in their armor, and it's just not really there for them whatsoever.
Dark King Training Island, have they lost the momentum? 4 rounds on a trot. An economic trench, I would say. They're just surviving on max loss bonus. Zephy did pick up the operator, but he hasn't been able to impact the game as much as he could in the attacking side, because now his first kills are always getting diverted. The teams... Dieversity eSports, they're hitting on sides where Zephy isn't there, and it seems like they're exposing their weakness as well. Look at this, the first kill, the controller is down. Lyrene and Zephy come back to the rescue, but they only find one. Dieversity, they already have the side, and they can go in for the plant if they want to, but Zephy wants to stop that. For the time being, he's actually successful as well. One time God falls!
Oh,
and so
no, Zephy!
does Som! Bow! that?
Oh God, the guy just no-scoped him, and immediately after the no-scope went to the right with a tailwind and just slapped down Som onto the floor with a perfectly timed quick scope. 7-10, ladies and gentlemen, that was the show of Zephy. Wish you saw it from his perspective. Good God, this round was one for the books.
Good gosh, man. Good gosh. But I like it. Rolling Thunder. Vexy without any vision, but the recon dart comes to save him. Vexy finds two, just using those heat waves. And now Dark Kings, all of a sudden they are on the back foot yet again. Zephy this time will not be able to save this team. Will Lyring be the one holding the flag? Finds two quick shots onto Vexy through the boxes. The kill was important. In a position, we will find Clandestine. All of a sudden, the Sova is just looking so lackluster. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a game are we witnessing so far? One of the firsts in Intel Gamer Days. And just so you know, let me just tell you that there are some amazing deals that Intel is providing on Flipkart. Go down below, check the description, because if you want gameplay like this, you need some high-performing gear, ladies and gentlemen, and that is only and only Intel who will provide you performance along with some amazing value. Look at that. Zephy, though, providing value with the knives, but Vexy will take his life. For now, the Dark King Trading Island, they want to enter in. F2 has been spotted. What a battle inside of this beast side. Absolute chaos and a one-tap god just breathing fire. This man, it seems like, has awakened from the shadows. Zephy and his brilliant touch is no more active aggressive. And now the scoreline stands 9-10.
This is just gonna be one of those games that really will deliver. The 9-3 curse seems to have activated in the favor of the members of Dieversity, because they are coming back into this game with a storm. Their utility usage far superior than anything that we have seen coming out from their own defensive side. The attack is where this team is really shining their brightest, utilizing the neon and the speed of these entries to its fullest caliber. They are not slowing down for even a second, but in this particular round, they are taking a little bit more of a slower pace. You're understanding that maybe this is one of those egos that you have to worry about. Possible bait being done for PRX here. He doesn't really have the best of weapons to try and take this opening engagement here for this position, but it's all about the timing. They know they have to be a little bit aggressive here. With the amount of space being given away, the timing's not really being in their favor. Pace needs to be the big one for a kill, but he just couldn't find it. Vexy instead breaks his ankles, but it's going to be Lyrene who shuts down Vexy immediately as he enters onto the side. But the trade's still in the favor of Dieversity as they do get the plan down for themselves. Zephy now stepping up to the table, doesn't really know the angle. He has no idea that Som's in this position. Gets taken out almost instantly. Down over to a 2v4. The members of Dark Kings, they are going to fall like dominoes.
And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like Dieversity eSports have just done what we were praying for, a competitive match, possibly taking it to overtime, but I'm not sure. Dark Kings Trading Islands. So it seems like they only trained for the attacking side on the map of Haven. Apart from that, it seems like with the way they are handling the defensive side of things, Zephy has been left extremely all by himself while the rest of the players are struggling. Aggressive, I want to know your thoughts. I feel like a one-tap god was just kind of out of touch in the first half of the game, but now that he's in full potential, it seems like it's going to be a little difficult for Dark Kings to actually win this affair.
Yeah, I was kind of afraid of this happening too, because as soon as the round started to roll on forward, you could tell that the positioning that we kind of witnessed from the players really just started to falter, especially when it came down to Pace. Pace just wanted to hold on to the C side a little bit too often on his different positions. He needs to understand that sometimes it's just better to leave the site alone, run away. You don't need to go in for the kill because you're going up against the Neon. There's not going to be a lot of situations where the Neon's going to be like easy to kill no matter what you do. You
Yeah.
don't have a Cypher tripwire present. You don't have a camera to give you that early bit of information. The Cypher's the only one that can kind of stop her in a lot of these fights. And at the end of the day, how do I put it? Like, there's nothing more that could be brought onto the table up against this character. Neon possibly is the most broken agent in the entire game, and a lot of teams, even after her recent nerfs, even after her slide got removed, she had 2 slides, mind you, back in the day. I still have PTSD of the Neon sliding into my DMs and sliding back out after toying with my feelings. There's too many different situations where this agent is still powerful, still to this day.
Neon was sliding into your DMs, huh? Lucky chap. I mean, I won't want any one of the Valorant characters to slide into my DMs, ladies and gentlemen, but that is it. Not potentially somebody from the radiation side of things, but ladies and gentlemen, it seems like the game will be coming to a pause. The reason is going to be mystery, but we'll come back after a very short break. Don't go anywhere.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with the Intel Gamer Days Community Cup for Valorant. I did go in for a very short little break here, ladies and gentlemen, but now we are back in for all of the action. Where we did leave off was a 10-10 scoreline going in the favor of Dieversity, because they went from all the way from a 3-9 scoreline down over to a 10-10. Now, this is a situation that we were not really expecting, but mounting a comeback like this in a situation that was so dire is what the members of Dieversity are really here for. And we here at the audience and of course at the caster's desk are excited to see whether or not they're going to be able to pull off this comeback and take a clean sweep victory up against Darkness.
It seems like that might just be the case, but we'll have to find out. We'll have to wait, ladies and gentlemen. Dieversity, what can I say about them? What a team. Vexy being so sharp, one tap god, just finding the kills that is so important, especially in crucial encounters and those crucial engagements. Zephy, I feel like, is being left underutilized, and at this point I think I sound like a broken record because I've said this so many times right now, but Zephy needs to be the main man if he wants to stop Dieversity. His position needs to be varying every single round, but this time though, Dieversity eSports, they are just waiting. Flush inside the side, the recon that goes in, spotted is the Cypher, and he gets wall banged. One tap god will find a kill for himself, and Dieversity will find a round, but it seems like Dark Kings are already going in for the defensive measure. Retake has been stopped by Storm as he finds two on the backstab. Just one player, the Euro Zeppy with the operator. Now this is exactly what I've been calling out. This man has been left away from action, and Dieversity eSports are finding the chinks in the armor so well that Dark Kings haven't been able to counter it so far aggressive, and I don't know how they are going to counter it.
Yeah, they're just being caught out in the open way too often. The positioning hasn't really been the best, and Dieversity, they're just constantly bringing them back down a couple of notches here. Initially, we expected the members of Dieversity to, of course, not be able to win out on this game, but now with both of the weapons being taken out as well, that's the off now being taken off the table. The Hunter's Fury was utilized to try and get this kill too. They understand that if they're able to stop Zephy from getting full potential of this op, then that means they're going to be able to win out on the following rounds. This is 11-10, mind you, ladies and gentlemen. They're being forced onto an eco. They don't have money to go in for buys anymore. Dieversity, they have done it perfectly in that last round to take away those last two weapons, because now Dark Kings, they don't have a win condition to go for in this round.
True that, but you've got to remember the Dark Kings were actually the ones who were really playing well on the ego, to be honest, and their pistols are not that bad, but Vexy and one tap god, they just dive in with shotguns and bandits. That certainly will be a little hard to counter. Look at Zephy once again. Unfortunate conditions for this lad. The smoke dissipates a bit too quick, and he can't recover yet again. Lyrene falls. Dark Kings have no savior as LFTF noob. He devours them all, and potentially their hopes of victory as well, as Dark King Training Island. Not just did their kingdom fall, but their training islands have been absolutely destroyed by Dieversity.
They're doing this one well here already. The engagement's going in their favor. Shots just keep on connecting here, coming in from either side of this. Is on this 12-10 scoreline here. The members of Dieversity in control. This map seemingly theirs for these fights. And this is where things are just gonna start to take a turn for the worst if they're not careful, as Dark Kings now buys for them. Not gonna be looking as clean. No op in the hands of Zephy either. This is gonna be a tough call for them, as Psalm already taken out the raid boss on the server. Zephy has been so quiet here, and he's being shut down in so many of these instances. He doesn't have any backup coming in from his teams. He was all by himself, playing on the B main sideline. This is a position where the Euro generally likes to play, because he has that gate crash to get him out of that situation. But Zephy, he's already down. And with two big ultimates in their favor, Case, where are you going?
This is so well planned, Dieversity. This is so well planned. And so perfectly executed. No sound sense being given on that sea corridor, just luring Dark King's Training Island to come and visit them. And the visit did not pay off. Well left, Noob steals that kill away from Vexy. And Dieversity eSports steals the victory. from Dark Kings Training Island. What a game did we just witness? Look at their position. Look at the way they waited and baited Dark Kings to just give away and blow away their cover. And this has been the story of comeback for Dieversity. I've loved their gameplay so far. And this is one of the reasons why, Aggressive, this is the team that I was looking out for.
Absolutely. Dieversity pulled off a miraculous comeback, but at the same time, this comeback did happen back upon the curse that we always know and love. The 9-3 scoreline is, of course, going to be that cruel mistress that took another life now. Sadly, it was the side of the opposition. Dark Kings, they really should have been able to take this game for themselves. They had such a strong lead going into it, but to lose out on what? Almost 7 consecutive rounds before equalizer finally came through. It is going to be a tough pill to swallow for them, because right after they lost that, it just kept on snowballing out of control. There was nowhere to turn, there was nowhere to hide. The members of Divergent just had pretty much everything under wraps. They were not worried about a goddamn thing for so many of these fights. And you could tell that when it came down to the attacks, that the Neon was just one of their biggest problems. They just didn't know how to stop this Neon in his tracks. Half the time, Vexy just slid into the side, got a free opening kill, and there was absolutely no one to trade him. The Cypher as well didn't really opt to go in for any form of rotation. He just stayed on the A side throughout the entire game. You need to be the one who constantly rotates out your Cypher setups. And another thing is that the A side is very easy to hold on to. You can't forget, like, if you just put a little bit of pressure on the side of A main, then it's more than enough. The Euro and the Sova is enough for you to gain enough value on that particular sideline, where your Cypher can just try to hold on to the B and C side, where the Neon is a little bit more of a bigger problem to deal with. Nothing like that happened. And these are the kind of situations that can lead a team to go in for a possible loss. And Dark Kings, just as players, they have a lot of potential, but as a team, it seems as though they just didn't really know how to finish the entire game in their favor.
I mean, I get your frustration, bro. I mean, it kind of felt like Dark Kings, once they started losing, they did not even try to fight back. While they were winning, they certainly were, full pumped with their jabs and with their crosses. They were hitting every single thing that they wanted, right? They had such a big lead, a 6-round lead. Imagine that, right? And to throw that away in a fashion like this, it kind of felt like, yeah, they did not fight back, but that's understandably so. I think the pressure that these athletes face, especially in tournaments like these, especially when the opponent just starts playing well all of a sudden, I think this is where experience comes into the picture, because once again, in Dieversity, you have those players who have been in situations like this. They've mounted comebacks before as well. So they know how to battle in situations where maybe the rest of the team can falter. This is what experience does to you. I think one of the experience for Dark Kings Training Island, it was a great game per se. And I've got to give it to Zephy, because I'm so impressed by that man's jet and op abilities. I think in spite of that loss, I think I will be waiting to look at this man and watch his gameplay yet again.
Absolutely. Zephy's that young player that... Make sure to subscribe to us as well, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, down below, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and also hit that notification bell to get notified when we do go live for even more tournaments, because the Intel Gamer Days has just begun here. Yeah, sadly, we have to bow out to Zephy and his team, but that's completely fine, because there's a lot more other tournaments that will be coming on down the line for Valorant as well. And of course, a lot more other esports titles. So make sure to check out all of our social media pages as well. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, because that is where you're going to be finding all of the juicy action and also the spicy details for what we have in store for tournaments next. And as you're going to be down there, make sure to check out all of the links for Flipkart as well, because thanks to the Intel Gamer Days, you can grab yourself an Intel Core-powered gaming laptop starting at just 15,990 INR till the 7th of September. And of course, no cost EMIs on select models with select bank cards as well. If you want to check it all out, links down below in the description. But getting a little bit more of an overarching, how do you put it, view of this entire game, you can tell that Zephy, he pulled his weight. He got these 27 kills, most of these 27 kills from that attack side, but as soon as the defensive side rolled around, his team just wasn't there with him whatsoever, and he fell really hard.
Imagine him getting 5 first bloods in just 12 rounds, right? In the first half, because I don't think Zephy has been able to get any first blood in the second half set. It were all in the 9 rounds that they had won in the first half itself. Of course, the entirety of Diversity kind of pulled their socks up. To be honest, they kind of gotten themselves their jacket and their sock up to kind of try and fight back, and that is one of the reasons why the comeback happened. While you look at the scorecard for Dark Kings, it kind of felt like Zephy was the only man who was pulling in the trigger. PRX tried really well, I feel like, but the rest of the three players kind of fell short. But ladies and gentlemen, after a game like that, you definitely need to charge yourself up a little bit. But while you're still up there, check out all the links in the description, because that is where you'll find some amazing deals for yourself, because Intel Gamer Days is here. And Aggressive has been talking about all the cool specs that is available as well. I myself have been looking for some gaming laptops, and I think Intel Gaming Core powered laptops would be something that I would love. Check them out, but we'll come back after a very short break. Don't go anywhere.
Left.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for the Intel Gamer Days Community Cup for Valorant. The fight still continuing with the last BO1 of the day. Sadly, we're not going to have two BO1s. Sorry, three BO1s, my bad. But it's what it is, right? Sometimes you have to give up the entire overarching fights with a lot of matches for the best ones. The first initial game, of course, ladies and gentlemen, was a comeback story for the century. Dieversity eSports going up against members of Dark Kings, where Dieversity pulled off a miraculous comeback from a 3-9 scoreline all the way to a victory on a 13-10. Now, that was one that we were not really expecting, especially after what happened in that first initial matchup. But now, the second game could be just as much of a banger for you guys back at home, because it's going to be Rat Syndicate going up against the members of Flank You very much. So, I'm excited for this one, Salty. What about you?
Rad Syndicate, I am excited, bro. I mean, you call out these players, you know it. They are kind of, how would I say, micro legends in their circuit already, because players like Tricky, players like Para, they have played at the best of the best circuit. So, playing in tournaments like these, they should really have the upper hand. But then, with the way the game that went just right, I kind of still feel that we might be in for a surprise. Thank you very much. I haven't really seen them so far as of yet. Can't really comment. I'm much hoping that it is going to be a good affair and potentially a different map from Haven. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We are not going to Haven at all. We are going to the map of Bind, and at least thank you. Or rather, it's not thank you, it's flank you. Thank you very much. Let's see how much they can actually flank.
Yeah, they're probably going to be flanking quite a bit here, but the agent selection is what's really surprising to me. It's going to be not a Brimstone coming out, but instead an Astra with a Deadlock and a Cypher. A double Sentinel composition on the map of Mind is a very rare pickup to go for, but maybe the members of Flank You very much does have a little bit of a set play and strategy that they want to go for here in this particular engagement. Rat sending it on the opposite side, of course, they're going to keep that Neon in check. They're going to go in for the double initiator composition to keep things rolling in their court. But without an info op for this particular map, this is going to be a little bit questionable on what they do have in mind for themselves here. No Sova, no Fade, but instead they're going to be opting to go in for a Sky and a Breach. Now, a Breach is something that I love to see on this map, but it's a little bit difficult to pull off unless you have the coordination to do so.
No, I think this team relies on coordination aggressive, because have a look at this, right? Both the initiators are flash based, right? Your breach is supposed to give you entries on the basis of flashes and fault lines. Your sky is gonna give you entry based on first contacts and flashes yet again. So I feel like it's a very flash heavy composition, especially with the neon in there. I think the idea is to try and get spaces as quickly as you possibly can and then try and make use of it. While the other two players, they still remain the same. I am more interested in Flank You very much as composition, because that is where majority of the players have cooked a little bit. Now you get to see a Fade in the mix of things. Now Fade has been used on the map of Mine for a while now, so you would expect that to be there, but a Deadlock in the form of a Sentinel, and then I believe they had an Astra as a controller. Now, where does that take us will depend. I think this team would be looking for a play which is more time oriented, possibly waiting for the opposition to finish off their utility and then starting to pounce on, because with the Astra you always have the flexibility to just pick up your stars, adapt to any kind of situation, and try and reinitiate again.
Absolutely. It's all about understanding what your opponents are trying to do and then trying to play reactive off of it. But one of the main reasons why Astra is not really that premier of a pickup anymore is because of how strong Omen and Brimstone is on this particular map. Because with Brimstone, you can play reactively and also proactively as well. It's that tug and pull nature that doesn't really exist with the Astra as much as it used to from back in the day. Because Astra, as a character, just forces you to play it a little bit more slower. You can take a lot more active risk with your team compared to the other controllers. So it's a little bit tough to say the very least on whether or not the Astra is going to be able to find a lot of value in towards this match. But give credit where credit is due, right? We're going to be jumping into the game, see exactly if the members of Thank You Very Much have a couple of set plays and strategies that we don't really know about just yet. And maybe knowing this team and allowing them to cook up a little bit, we're going to be able to witness something a little bit more better coming out from them.
So one of the things which I just realized was the speed with which Flank you very much pick the composition, and when you pick up a composition like this with that speed, it's understandable that you guys have practiced or done drills around this. It will be very interesting to find out if that actually works out. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm interested. I'm very excited because Red Syndicate, they are on the attack. They always promise action. But what did we see? Wait, what? Aggressive, is it just me or does the scoreline read 1-0?
It actually does. I think we just missed out on that first initial round here, ladies and gentlemen. That's completely fine and dandy. Rat Syndicate taking that first round for themselves. It's going to be the case here. Small bits of technical difficulty here, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing that we can do about it, but it's going to be Abu who takes that first initial kill for himself instead. Never mind. It seems as though the hit still do come through as the members of Rat Syndicate. They've gotten the kills, but they've kind of lost out on a couple of their lives in the process. Tricky in a little bit of a precarious situation, I would say, as Unlucky Reality is going to get caught out by the flash coming in from the breach. But I like the fact that Tricky opted to not go in for that swing. He's taking his time. He's just purely basing that flash upon the information. He didn't want to swing because of it. And with the spot being held onto, Tricky now given the chance with the Bucky to go wild here. This is the first shot, but he's still going to be able to get the frag here regardless. Flashes keep on coming in. And Unlucky, just like the weekend, keeps on getting blinded by the light as Paradox comes in for the big save on the 0-2 scoreline. Rat Syndicate, they lost out on a couple of their weapons, but that's completely fine because the one weapon that they did lose was just a ghost.
I mean, look at this, right? I feel like this team is ready. Tricky felt a little shaky, to be honest. He's been feeling a little shaky since yesterday. Haven't been a big fan of his performance so far as of yet because I don't think he misses shots like that. But my man is actually onto some different things. My man has been modeling for a while now, so I'm excited to see where that goes. Rat Syndicate on the other side. This seems like a full-blown push using the neon. That was a really weird engagement. Kind of felt like at least one kill should have been secured by Thank You Very Much, but they kind of lost out on that part. Half the side is under their control. 4 players on the side of it. Retake situation is already on the cards, and Robot decoyed as well as Bichara Suram falls. The majority of their players are going to fall. Rat Syndicate, they clean sweep. Thank you very much. It seems like the defensive composition, especially the deadlock, isn't really working the way they expected it to.
This is just a tough spot for them to be in here. Thank you very much. Just they didn't really have a good read on what their opponents are trying to do. Especially, it seems as though a lot of these teams that are running the Neon are able to catch the members of the defensive side off guard so often. And it's understandable because a lot of teams, if you don't really go up against the Neon that often, you're not going to be able to understand the different timings and, of course, the openings that the Neon is able to create. And when you have a double Sentinel composition, you would expect it to be a little bit more difficult to run up through. They body blocked each other, and Six is just going to be able to find 2 kills based upon it. What's happening to Thank You Very Much? Because they're body blocking themselves. This is just self-sabotage at this point of the game.
Yeah, man. Now I'm getting to see a body block after a while now. It's been some time. I've played with my best friend. He always body blocks me in positions where I just die. Rat Syndicate, they're looking for a clean sweep. They're looking for the knife or potentially one quick slap from that judge. Homeboy just being ever so brilliant as he always is. Rat Syndicate didn't know what they're doing. Look at that.
He just got
that is just cute, right? That is just straight up cute. You take a shot from Abu, and he instantly just falls in the arms of Bichara Suram, and Bichara in that situation, man, had nowhere to go. He had no idea the deadlock was just gonna fall in his arms. That was cute.
Reality at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. It's now given the chance for even more of a faster swing here. The Rolling Thunder has been utilized to give them an opening in towards the side. Bichara Suram's going to be able to find multiple kills, so never mind. The members of Thank You Very Much, they turn up the heat, and even though the ultimate was utilized, it was not really needed. The deadlock ult has been wasted, but for the members of Rat Syndicate, I think they're happy with that one because they forced out one of the bigger ults from the side of Thank You Very Much that they needed to try and hold on to a lot of these pushes that could be coming in from them in the following round.
Now this is what makes things interesting, right? I mean, Thank You Very Much, after losing 4 rounds on a trot, it seems like they've just not given up their heart. Rat Syndicate, that was not a bad entry, to be honest, in my opinion. Using the Rolling Thunder and just trying to, you know, reach past things because you know you've got the momentum. I understand what Rat Syndicate were trying to do, but Thank You Very Much, they countered them right on the face. Homeboy taking a little chink in the armor just on the back of that. But look at this. Sudden silence. All of a sudden. Thank You Very Much. Understand, it seems like Rat Syndicate are trying to buy time. Meanwhile, Rat Syndicate, they are progressing towards the B side. The spike is traveling. It's just Homeboy who was trying to capture in on that A Showers territory. Now, I think this is where things get interesting because Rat Syndicate all of a sudden have started respecting their opposition, but the respect is not just going to be enough. Them breaking the deadlock utility, I think, gives all the information that they need. Ashraf is not unlucky anymore. Find the first kill, Abu. Find the next one! And now,
Oh my god!
Ashraf lines up everyone. Who on earth said that she is unlucky? She's really lucky indeed. At least for Thank You Very Much.
Good shot, so you have to give credit where credit is due for that. He heard the sounds and immediately sprayed in that exact vicinity. The members of Rat Syndicate, they're trying to rush a little bit too much here in these last couple of rounds, and it's going to cause some problems for them if they're not careful. A tech pause has been taken, I do believe. I did hear the sound of a message coming through, so thank you very much. They've gotten these last 2 rounds for themselves, and that's one of those key openers that you really do need to get your team back in for that momentum play. But they can't really get too complacent in the positions that they are in. The members of Rat Syndicate, they've been rushing a little bit too much in these last couple of rounds, so it's time for you to take a couple of steps back and really figure out what your opponents are trying to do, because that aspirant, that level of utility that they do have on their side, it's pretty much built to counter a Neon. I think the members of Thank You Very Much did do their research for this particular matchup because they understood that, hey, if they're going to run that Neon, we need to run a composition that really hard counters it. Yes, it's going to work well on that defensive side, but the thing is, the members of Rat Syndicate, they just need 2 more rounds or even 1 more round on this attack side to really make it worth it. Because as soon as that attack side rolls around for this team, that double Sentinel setup won't have the exact same strength anymore unless they have a couple of set lineup and plays with that deadlock to really make it work.
Interesting stuff that you actually mentioned there. I think I am not sure either how on there. It is so heavily defensive, but homeboy, to be honest.
And it seems as though my boy Salty is going to take a back seat here, just like one of the players from the side of Thank You Very Much here, as he's trying to fix out of these problems, as the first initial opener does go in the favor of Rat Syndicate, but they're going to need to slow it down over to a crawl once again because of the amount of utility being put in front of them. Cypher Ultimate now being utilized to get that first lot of information. Beautiful slide coming through from Homeboy to go in for that kill. A side is now ripe for the picking and now completely theirs to hold on to. 2-5 will be the scoreline soon enough, I do believe, unless the Astral Divide does find some value, but this is going to be a very risky round for them to go into. They still do have an ample amounts of money to go in for buys in the following round, so it's completely fine. They don't have anything.
I don't think they should use the Astral Divide. Nor can they use it anymore. Another round in the back of Rat Syndicate. All of a sudden, they do realize the threat that Thank You So Much possess. I think in the first 4 rounds, they kind of underestimated the opposition a little bit, which kind of let them play in a way that they did so. But if they do decide to maintain their structure, their formation, and the way they've played in the games before, and not try to maybe overpower the opposition, Rat Syndicate will have a pretty solid chance of winning this game. You mentioned 2 more rounds. One of those rounds are here already. So 5 rounds for Rat Syndicate. Thank You Very Much. You won't have a lot of options or a lot of opportunities to stop this team any further. With Cypher Cam as well as a nade that occupies it. A one-on-one trade towards that truck as Rat Syndicate slowly approaches. But it seems like that attack has to dissipate yet again. No information for
Why
Sky.
are you
Robot
swinging?
aim works to find yet another kill. And now the Astral Divide is there. Paradox will not be able to do so because this Astral Divide is clean up. Who finds another frag elsewhere. But Paradox pushes it and still manages to find success. Flank you so much do have the numbers to counter this, but Rat Syndicate, are they going to wait it out? I think so.
UV needs a good timing and an opening kill onto one. It's all about him walking up and finding value in this initial engagement. Paradox needs to be the one to go in for an aggro play of his own now. He needs to pull a little bit of attention in towards his favor. UV making a lot of noise here towards the corner. Paradox swing comes through. He does find the opener that he needed. He's going to have the inkling feeling of a player coming in towards his back, but Paradox doesn't fully clear out the angle. Instead, he tried to pull out his knife and go in for a run for it. Onto the B side instead. He's going to get caught out in towards the open, and now it's all up to UV. Still has the chance, ample amounts of time to maybe go towards the heaven side to maybe go in for a kill, but instead, it needs to pick up the spike for a possible plan. Thank you very much. Played it out properly here. And Rat Syndicate, I don't know why they're trying to risk out so many of these fights. Why are you trying to brute force an angle up against the Cypher and a deadlock? You just needed to wait there, wait for the utility to come through, then opt to go in for an execution because you guys have ample amounts of utility going for a hit, but instead, they try to force the fight, and Rat Syndicate, they get put down for it.
I mean, they for sure did. If you talk about, if I had to call out Flanky so much on their play last round, I think it was, they did perfect, but then Rat Syndicate, it was a massive throw from their end as well. And I feel like these boys, you know, thank you so much. They found a way to counter chinks inside this game. You just name yourself according to one of it. Talk about unlucky, really, right? This man has been so lucky coming in from the backstab every single time, finding right. Look at that, unlucky, really. In the right corner. Wait for this man to actually pop out. Thank you so much. The defensive composure is insane. They never really push anything beyond what's necessary, and Rat Syndicate, especially on their attacking side, now that the deadlock is coming to its full potential, they're struggling. Yet another kill comes in, and this time it is Bechara Suram who finds another member. Unlucky really knows he's quite low on that HP bar, gets flashed out, and instantly gets read off. Tricky is inside of that side already, and he fires!
Okay.
Paradox and Tricky, 2 quick kills already for them. Thank you so much. 2 players alive, the ultimate comes through for the fade. It's a fault line and it connects all the time. Bought to the advantage, but from that ultimate gets nullified. But Bechara Suram from the backline strikes and thank you so much. They say thank you so much.
This is exactly what they needed for this particular round victory for themselves. A little bit of a flashback over towards the last round here, ladies and gentlemen, but the beauty of this round was in the eye of the beholder. That is for certain. That one Nightfall coming in from the fade was the main reason why Bechara Suvam was even able to go in for a fast flank like that. He just full sprinted his way through in towards Hookah and immediately popped up for these last 2 kills. And poor old Paradox, he had no idea where he was getting shot from because he had no audio to work with. This is what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, when you do have a fade on your team. You can't just go in for plays like that, and Rat Syndicate just couldn't find the read for it. They had no idea that a possible flank was even going to be coming through against them. 4-5 on the scoreline, as Thank you very much living up to their namesake, going in for that big flank, and also taking the victory in the process.
I like the way every team is playing according to their strengths. While Rat Syndicate, they are extremely fast-paced teams. Their composition is extremely fast-paced. They're going in for these pushes, finding success majority of the times. And thank you so much. They rely on the time, and this time none of it has actually been given by the opposition. They brute force their way in, and Homeboy now just wants to electrocute. Just a game. Shotgun works. The shorty does give him a little bit of success, but that is just for a wee while as the Rat Syndicate to get their 6th round on board. And look at this, Homeboy sliding on to success. When Agent does this, how can you even counter it, especially with the way they were poised in the position, not a lot of money to work with as well. Did try to use the deadlock utility to perfection, and I almost felt like they did so, but it was broken so quickly that I felt Rat Syndicate knew exactly what to do at that point.
Yep. Nian is one of the few characters in the game that can just break through a lot of the Sentinel utility if she's fast enough to do it. One of the bigger surprises was Thank You So Much just didn't really go in for that early engagement duel either. That's what really caused them to fall apart in that particular round. Don't forget, for Rat Syndicate, that last round was an eco, and in that eco round, they were able to find so much value. So still, a little bit of a tough position for them to break through here. Zakroid tries to find a hit here. Good God, that is going to be a little bit of a problem, but homeboy finally shutting him down. Zakroid is still one of those players that you always do have to worry about. Just a kid in the corner. Does utilize the haunt here to try and gain some information, but up against Homeboy is just not going to work. The man is just quick on the trigger. They go in for the shots. They do find the kills, and Thank You So Much just are down to that last player with UV with his crosshairs trained and ready, knows the position, tries to go in for the kill, but it's going to be Homeboy with the slide in. And with a quick little tap to close everything out, 4-7, ladies and gentlemen. Rat Syndicate, they're the ones who will end this half with the lead.
I like this kid Homer already. I feel like he's got the right sense of positioning. He's got the right sense of speed as well. And I like the way he actually just barges into a site without a care in the world. That is what you need in a professional Valorant player. That is what you need in a duelist who is supposed to do good on the long run. Just to worry about finding the right timing and get your blood. Bichara Suram this time white once again, and not a lot of good weaponry that he can use this time. Does have that judge to work with, but I don't think Thank You So Much need the judge right now. Playing in for that drop from Hookah, but nobody will follow up. His smoke will protect him for a while, but as soon as it dissipates, he's gonna fall. Sings does it. He knew about it. Abu trying his level best, but this side is laden with utility and ultimates right now, and it is an absolute bloodbath. Left was little real estate. The orbital strike comes through, and unlucky really is going to be unlucky for possibly the first time in the game. 8-4 the scoreline. Rat Syndicate to eat up. Thank you so much. And not just that aggressive. I feel like this is exactly the point where I feel like the entire game for Thank You So Much kind of closes out, because now they do not have the agents who can take advantage of those flashes. They do not have any agent to break past the Rat Syndicate and whatever the defense that they're going to set up with. They're going to left with the Deadlock and Cyphers, and will have to play heavily on their backs. But will they be able to find success on the attacking side of things is a very big question right now.
They need to fish out kills, which is another bigger problem, right? I don't see a world where they're going to be able to do this for free whatsoever. Unless Thank You So Much get that first initial opener just like this, I don't know how they're going to be able to break into the side up against the sheer amount of utility that's waiting for them on the opposite end of this. Sings playing it super aggressive here. He's taking a lot of damage in the process. He does find the trade-off though. A 1-for-1 trade, but Sings' HP is so low in the process of it. Not really the best of spots here to try and take a hit like this, but I guess it works out in the way that you would have expected. But now it's time for the opener. Both players inside of the smoke. Look at where Rat Syndicate are going. They're playing towards the market side. They're able to run away from this fight. They understand that there's a good chance they're going to be pushing in over in towards the B side, but instead A has been compromised, and it's going to be a full-on retake, a 4v4 retake, mind you, where Thank You So Much have the entirety of the A side to play for.
Rat Syndicate, they need kills like these, and Sinks. This man does not have HP, but one thing which he does have is a cracked aim, and he definitely is winning on the basis of that. The fault line comes through, the pain shell is not really going to help him. Tricky and Sinks is both quite on critical HP. Needs to connect 2 shots. Bichara Suram finds one on Paradox. UV doubles up. Unlucky really. And and the rest of his comrade not in the
Oh
worst
no.
of positions. Decroid burns to a crisp and unlucky. Will be facing Sinks right now.
They're all 1 HP!
The kill is not there! He finds EOV as well. The spike being defused. He gets all the kills, but not the spike. Thank you so much. Wow, what a round did we witness. Now this is one of the reasons why I love Valorant, because in spite of all the luck, in spite of everything going away, something or the other will strike and your mental peace will get snatched. This is the reason why Valorant was invented. It spoils the children of today, and it spoils children like me whose hearts are quite not as stern, you know.
Good God, ladies and gentlemen, that last round was a little bit too close for comfort coming in from their side, but what works, right? This is what you want to see, homeboy, on the perfect angle with a Bucky to go in for the collateral. That's 2 now down onto the floor as the members of Thank You So Much lost out on 2 key pieces for their overall attack as UV in for the angle, John Wick style, to go in for that kill with the Bulldog. He finds 2. He has the dog in him for certain as the last player will be spotted, knives in hand, to go in for a little bit of a haphazard message as Rat Syndicate. They are sending the message that, hey, we're not out here to play, and Thank You So Much, they're gonna take the hits for it.
They certainly are going to take the hits for it. That Syndicate. Look at that. I mean, I love the way they just easily get their kills when they actually want to. Right? They don't really have to try hard that hard, honestly. If that actually makes sense, try hard that hard. 4-10.
I mean, it does.
The scoreline. Yeah, it does, though. I mean, that is the reason why I said try hard that hard. Because try hard is like a... It's not try hard. It's a term in our gaming world. You can't try hard. And you can try hard. But chuck that easy.
By checking the links down below in the description and checking out Flipkart. Just like UV did.
Maybe.
You got that Intel gaming powered laptop, possibly, or even a CPU. You never really know. Make sure to check out all the links down below in the description if you want to play like these pro players. But Decroid's going to be the one to step onto the table for that one. 3v3 now on the scorecards. UV does get another kill with the orbital strike. And now Rat Syndicate again back in the advantage. They're doing whatever the hell they want.
They for sure are. Decroid, if you talk about this man, has found a little space and loves the flash!
Oh, no!
Hello! This man is lucky! Look at that! Wow! That ought to not happen! That just did not happen, aggressive. No way that happened, but Tricky right now, left with a clutch of his life, and Decroid slams him. But what on earth did we just witness? My word. Wow.
That is not what I expected, especially after UV pulled off a play like this. Flash was perfect, but he whiffed everything. Everything under the sun, he whiffed it, and somehow he survived.
Because he was flashed as well.
No, no one was flashed. They just missed.
No, wait, I think that the Brimstone was flashed, bro.
No, he wasn't.
way.
He peeked out. He just whiffed.
God. Oh my word. See, this is the reason why I said that this guy has actually found a way to beat all jinxes inside of the game. Name yourself unlucky. Embrace it. And then I think the gods of Valorant will give all the luck to you. They'll feel pity and they will be like, he's but like, you just let him give this kid whatever he wants. Wow. I wish that happened sometimes with my games. Even in my gold elo, I would get cracked because of a play like that. I would get smacked. I would get knockout punched, bro. I would get Big Show ultimated. But look at this right now. The ultimate from the race comes through. Detroit not finding any success with it, and Homeboy with his operator is still in the side. But I'm not sure if I would be as calm. Finds it. Detroit gets it down as well. Homeboy with his third, and look at that. Rat Syndicate just 2 rounds away from victory. I love it.
That news of the operator was the main thing that gave them that victory in that round. Perfect utilization of the timing and the overall placement to go in for a hit like that. The members of Flank You so much didn't really expect it, especially that first initial opener too. Homeboy being able to find kills like this is what they really need. And he's getting away with murder too, because in this round he didn't buy any form of armor. He just had a glass cannon operator in his hands, and he's just able to make it work. Now with the coming in, he's even stronger, while the members of Flank You so much forced onto an eco, because they can't really go in for a force buy in a situation like this. They don't really have the agents to go in for a force buy rush with. Now Homeboy, he's just going to be holding onto the angle for as long as he possibly can. The haunt does spot him out. The op has been taken into consideration, but Bechara Zumram is going to be able to take that first initial kill. Tricky takes a back seat, but Homeboy is going to be able to answer back, and almost instantaneously he gets the double, and he just keeps on going. Paradox trying to ride upon that momentum, has the stun from his teammate to go in a little bit deeper, has the flash to really work for as well if he wants to utilize it. It's all about the timing. The player is already spotted. Abu able to get the kill over towards the face of Homeboy, but Paradox's position is completely unknown. They have no idea where he is.
Or probably they do.
No, they don't.
Paradox. I thought he had a hint about it. I thought he was expecting somebody on that crunch territory, but look at that. Rat Syndicate 1 round away from victory. I love it. I love it. We are almost here to the end, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that, Bechara Suram. We've seen some good strikes in this entire match so far. Some lovely combinations, and especially this one. Look at that! What a connection! Flanky so much, don't even have a buy to actually counter this now. Just a kid on the sheriff. Stinger for unlucky really. And Rat Syndicate coming in like 5 bulls. This should be a short victory! Homeboy! With the operator strikes. Seeks revenge on Abu. For the last one, flash goes through, but there's nobody to actually be pounced upon. Syndicate actually pushed out. Who are the attackers? Who are the defenders? It is a game of mysteries. Paradox falls. No, it is actually Bechara Suram who falls. Thank you so much. Rather will be thanking the opposition. Should be B-side open. The spike does travel, but what on earth is that man waiting for? The operator was almost in position. Homeboy could have actually gotten a second, but the smoke comes right in the nick of time. Rat Syndicate have all the world. Flashes come through. Sings goes up top. Let's spot the next one. Just a couple of moments left before we see the victory. Rat Syndicate take things home in style. I like it. No real stress whatsoever. Defuse the spike, boys. The spike. Stop flexing.
They're having fun. They collected all the guns and placed it in the right.
What the hell are they doing?
It's a gun market. That's the beauty of the game here, ladies and gentlemen. They're just having fun. The members of Rat Syndicate taking this victory up against the members of Flank You so much. Beautifully well played out round coming out from them to take this victory for their side. This is where the game of Valorant is really meant to heat up, and for the members of Rat Syndicate, they just did it beautifully on the back of Homeboy. The guy was just an absolute beast on the server. As soon as he got that operator in his hands, it felt as though nothing in this world could stop him.
True that. I mean, he definitely was really quick, not just on his feet but also on his fingers. I mean, the way he was aiming, my man. But anyways, nonetheless, I feel like this was a good game. The one before was an amazing comeback. This one, we saw Rat Syndicate actually get things back in style. And this is what you want to see from experienced players. Like, this is the level of competition that I'm expecting in Intel Gamer Days in the days that follow. But aggressive, I think we do have some amazing offers for our viewers out there.
Absolutely. Make sure to check out all the links down below in the description here, ladies and gentlemen, because in the celebration of the Intel Gamer Days, get yourself an Intel core-powered gaming laptop on Flipkart starting at just 52,990 INR till the 7th of September. And you get also a no-cost EMI on select models with select bank cards as well. If you want to check out all of those details, make sure to check out that pinned comment in the chat or the links down below in the description as well, because you don't want to miss out on these offers, because this thing is not going to be coming back until next year. So if you want to wait for that one, that's on you. But for us here in the audience who can, we're going to be grabbing this offer as soon as possible.
Rat Syndicate grabbed everyone that was inside of the match, to be honest. Did not leave anything away. But I wonder in which phase of the competition are we progressing into, because I still feel there will be one more day left for the best of ones to still happen. I'm expecting a lot of great competition, but I think that is just one more day left, after which we move on to the playoffs. And I'm really excited for the playoffs, because I think that is exactly when a lot of the comebacks and a lot of the story building, the strategies that involve inside of the game is what we are expected to see. Is it not aggressive?
Absolutely, because we're at the closing stages of the round of 16, right? The one after this will directly jump on over onto the BO3 setups. We're gonna have 2 BO3s a day, ladies and gentlemen, until the grand final stage. So it's a lot of Valorant action. So make sure to hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also hit that like button as well for the stream, because if you don't want to miss out on any of that jazz, we here at the Esports Club make sure that you're with us at all moments. So if you want to get notified, make sure to do all of that. But as we're going to be jumping on down over into the scoreboards one last time, ladies and gentlemen, to just get that overarching scoreline once again, to understand what was going on in the server, it was just a game of Homeboy and UV being absolute dominant beasts on the server.
True that. I mean, everyone played well, to be honest, in their own right. You've got to give it to Sinks as well. Those couple kills were brilliant. Paradox tricky, but one player I absolutely adored from Flank You so much was actually unlucky. Really, man got kills from where you wouldn't imagine. But this is the beauty of the game itself. This is the beauty of how you name yourself and possibly break jinxes inside. But I think that is the journey that gets over for Flank You so much. Rat Syndicate clean out yet another opposition, and it seems like they are steamrolling past oppositions quite comfortably inside of the competition so far.
Absolutely. Flank You so much did their best for this particular matchup, but it just wasn't really enough to go up against the members of Rat Syndicate. And it's understandably so that the composition that you wanted to try and run just didn't really work that well with the Astra. The Astra just felt very restrictive in a couple of these rounds, especially the Astral Divide as well was not really utilized a lot for a lot of big executions. They had a tough time getting a lot of these rounds to really work in their favor. And hopefully, as they do get some time to develop a little bit more, they're going to be able to come back even stronger. There's still a lot more tournaments to be had, ladies and gentlemen. But that's all that we have for you for tonight. Sadly, there's going to be no other games for you. But tomorrow, I do believe we're going to be starting off with the BO3. So it's going to be a long one. So we're going to be taking our rest here from the side of the casters. And thank you all for stopping on by for all of this action for the Intel Gamer Days Community Cup. Good night and happy gaming, everyone. We're going to be seeing you tomorrow with a lot more of the matches.